morning, everyone. Welcome to Ask Coffee Online. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to be preparing for you a roasted rack of lamb. This nice piece of lamb is one of the most tender parts of meat from the lamb. And I mean, you can make this for, now that we have the holidays coming up, you can do this very simple. And I'm going to show you today that it's really not too much. You can make a beautiful dinner. You know, if you don't want to do something huge, you can make still nice dinner for your guests, you know, your Christmas party, you know, New Year's Eve. And without too much work. I mean, I'm gonna be making some potato puree, but it's gonna be something different. I'm gonna do saffron. I don't know if you guys ever had, you know, saffron potato puree. Adds a nice earthy flavor. I'm gonna make a nice pan sauce, and I got some vegetables ready. You're gonna see this is gonna be so easy to do. Well, let's get going here. Most of the time, you can buy, you know, this rack lamb at your supermarket. This imported. It's not domestic, and this is a little cheaper. This it comes from New Zealand or Australia. You're gonna see in the package. Usually you can buy, you know, 2 in a pack like this. And the bones are most of the time become French, which means they're being, you know, clean from the all the tissues that are attached. But we're gonna clean them a little bit more. So I'm gonna take this out of here. Okay. I wanna take most of this fat off right here. So you're gonna take your boning knife and kind of take it off real easy. Be careful. And this is a nice tender piece of meat, so you don't want to cook it too long, like you would do the lamb shanks. You're going to find out the lamb shanks are more tougher muscles, so they require, you know, a different kind of cooking method. I'm gonna pan sear this. I'm gonna put a nice crust with some herbs, a little mustard. Then I'm gonna bake it in my little oven back there. I'm gonna make a nice sauce, but you're gonna see this very easy. See, this mostly is fat. You don't want to use it for anything. We want to try to remove as much as we can here. I always cut away from your hand, like this, okay? I'm going to take some of the silver skin off, because this is, when it cooks, it's very tough. Okay. Some fat here. If you guys have any questions along the way, please let me know. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to turn my pan on to get nice and hot. Okay. If you guys want to take the strap off right here, I think I'm going to take it off. This is another piece. You can leave it on, but I'm going to take it off so it cooks a little quicker. See? It's like a cap, you know. You can save this for something like for stock. You know, I decided to take it off. That way I can clean all the silver skin off this. Okay. There we go. See, I don't have any use for this. I'm just gonna, you know, put it aside for right now. I won't need it anyway, so just gonna throw it away. Now I have my nice rack lamb, nice and clean, as you can see, ready to sear. I'm gonna season really well with some black pepper. Salt here. I'm using some avocado oil. This one's one of the highest, has a high smoking point, but I want to use very little here. I don't want to smoke too much. I want to get it nice and hot so I can sear this meat and seal it really good. I want to get a nice color and nice flavor too. Okay. You can see that. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my cutting board down here. the meantime, I'm gonna fix my breadcrumb mixture I made. I got some fresh breadcrumbs. You can use either panko. It's nice, but I made them fresh. If you got some old bread at home, I took the crust off and I just kind of, in my RoboCoupe, I chopped it up. And I'm gonna add some fresh herbs. I got some fresh mint, some rosemary, some thyme, some parsley. Okay. I get a little smoky here. Okay, so we're gonna mix them really good like this. Also, we're gonna add a little salt, some pepper, and I'm gonna add a little oil too. You can use olive oil. I'm using like avocado oil. A few drops just to make them nice and moist. You don't want them to get them too wet. Excuse me. Oops, I'm gonna have to stop this real quick here. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off because it's gonna smoke a lot here, but you can see the meat's gonna be nice and brown here. I'm gonna cook a little longer here. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little more oil here. A couple tablespoons of oil. Especially if you're using like the panko breadcrumbs, the Japanese crumbs, a little drier. These are moister because their bread's fresh, or like 1 day old. But the other one's a little more drier, so you wanna use, soften them up a little bit with the oil, so you wanna get them nice and moist. Okay. There you go. Now our breadcrumb mixture is ready. We're gonna, cover my rack of lamb with some breadcrumbs. I'm gonna also put some Dijon mustard on the meat before I put the crumbs. That way the crumbs stick to the meat. As you can see, it's getting nice and brown. I'm gonna cover this a little bit so it kind of cooks a little more. I'm gonna use this pan just to put upside down because I want to cook a little more. That way it's not smoking too much. Because I have a little oven. If at home, you guys can just sear really nice and put in the oven about 375 and bake until medium, about 135, 130. This should be cooked about medium rare to medium. You don't want to overcook this meat because it's very tender. So it's first class cut of meat, and you want to cook it nice and to medium. I mean, unless you really like the meat well done. I'm not saying you have to eat it medium or medium rare. If you like, well done, you can do that. But in my opinion, it's just kind of the meat dries out more when you cook it longer. So it's just one reason why I mentioned that. Okay, you know what's getting too smoky here? I'm just gonna take it off. I'm gonna save my pan because I'm gonna make a nice pan sauce over here. Now I have my nice rack of lamb here. It's nice and sear. I'm gonna put some mustard here, and this is gonna help for the breadcrumbs to stick to the lamb. Also, it's gonna give a nice flavor. If you guys want to put some egg wash instead of mustard, so maybe some of you guys don't like mustard like me, but I still cook with it, and sometimes I try it, but I'm not a big fan. But it gives a beautiful flavor. I'm gonna dip them here. Okay. You want to push down here so you get nice. Let's see there. Get them nice in there. Look at that. away here. Now I'm gonna take my little baking tray. I'm gonna bake it. As you can see, it's nice and covered, some nice crumbs here. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side here. And once you use these breadcrumbs, like I put some meat that was not fully cooked, you don't want to use them again. I'm not going to use them, but you know, I did more because I was going to make two, but my pan is too small. But otherwise, you don't want to reuse them unless you put them in the refrigerator, and don't save them too long because you already got blood in there and some meat that wasn't fully cooked, so you don't want to use them again. Okay, so I got my lamb cooking. Also, if you want to cover the bones with some aluminum foil to keep them nice from they don't burn too much, go feel free. I didn't do it today, but you know, normally if I have a lot of them, I usually wrap them up that way they don't get burned. In the meantime, I'm gonna make a sauce. I'm gonna make a nice sauce for my lamb. I'm gonna put it right in this pan. Okay. Put a little butter here. Be careful when using whole butter. You don't want to burn it too much. Put some shallots. Okay, I'm using my little spoon here. And we're going to deglaze the pan with some marsala wine. And you can do any kind of sauce. I'm just kind of giving you an idea. I'm using a little marsala wine. I'm also going to infuse the sauce with some fresh mint in there. Because a lot of people, you know, they reference, you know, mint with lamb to kind of take some of the gamey flavor away. So this is going to give a nice flavor. So we're going to just sweat the shallots and it become nice and translucent. You don't want to brown them too much. I just have to heat them very low. Otherwise you're going to start to brown them. You don't want that. Just keeping an eye on my lamb back here too. As you can see, once you have everything ready, your mise en place, the actually cooking process becomes easy. The longest it's going to take is the lamb to cook. That's really, but you know, it's not going to take too long. I already got my potatoes cooked back there. I'm going to make them in a little bit here. So I'm going to deglaze my pan. Or some marsala wine here. Okay. I want to scrape the bottom of the pan. It's a lot of flavor in there. Look at that. This is nice. And I got some brown sauce. A lot of you guys sometimes ask, you know, what can you do with the brown sauce? I got some nice brown sauce here. This is what you guys can do when you guys make it to your stocks in case you're not there yet. Okay. I'm going to add a little more water because this is going to thicken up when I, you know, reduce it down. Okay, as you can see. I'm going to cook this down. I'm also going to throw some mint leaves in there to infuse some of the flavor. If you chop them up a little bit, it's just like when you guys do your infused oil. If you guys put all the herbs in there whole, you're not going to get a lot of flavor. You cut them up, and you're going to be the oils are going to leach out. So just kind of roughly chop them, because I'm going to strain the sauce anyways. And this is going to give a nice mint flavor, really light, not too strong. There you go. I'm going to just reduce it down. Here I got my potatoes already done. And here I told you guys I was going to make some saffron potatoes. And as you know, saffron is very expensive. And if when you're making any dish, you want to put the saffron with some liquid. You want to, you know, bring out the flavor. you know, because saffron is very dry. If you put it right in the potatoes, it's going to take a long time to soak up and give out all the nice, beautiful flavors and colors. So you want to put some saffron when you heat up the cream and kind of steep it for a while. The longer you leave it there, it's going to be nice and bright yellow. More flavor is going to bring out. So I'm going to put it back in the heat here to warm up a little bit. Okay. And I got my potatoes here. I'm going to drain them really nice over here. It's very important when you make a mashed potato puree that you like drain them really good. And I'm gonna keep an eye on my lamb. I don't want the breadcrumbs to burn. So here they are. I'm gonna pass them through a sieve here. I think I showed you this technique before, but if you don't have a food mill at home, you can pass them through a nice sieve like this, and they're gonna be nice and smooth. Otherwise, it might end up a little lumpy. So I'm gonna put some in my sieve here. As you can see, they're nice and done. And the key is when you make potatoes, you want to cut them all the same size, uniformly. It's very important. Otherwise, if you have some big pieces, they're going to take longer to cook. If you cut, you know, small ones, they're all going to disappear, and then you're going to be wasting product, and they're not going to be cooking evenly. So it's important that you guys, you know, cut them all the same size. You don't want to be cooking whole potatoes, because I don't know if you've ever done that. You're going to see that the outside is going to be turned to really mush, and the inside is not going to be done. And you're going to be wasting a lot of product too, so we don't want that. As you can see, as long as potatoes are nice and hot, and a good way to tell when they're done, if you take your knife and you poke a bigger piece, and if the knife comes out nice and easy, this one's got a little, see, because it's kind of a little cold, but again, my knife's pretty wide. Take your paring knife, you stick it in there, it comes out really nice. That means that they're done. That's the best way to check for doneness in the potatoes. As you can see. And again, the rubber spatula works the best. If you use a metal spoon, it doesn't bend, or a wooden spoon. Okay, now the rest of them. As you can see, it's really easy, and you're going to end up with some really nice fluffy potatoes with no lumps. And be careful too when you whip them. You don't want to whip them too much, because you end up with some glue-like texture. If you whip them too much, starch cells are going to swell up and they're going to turn into glue. So you got to be careful not to overwork them either. You want to end up with some nice, beautiful, smooth texture. Okay, now you want to see this? Look at that. All right, we're going to get this dish out of the way here. Okay. Look at that. I got some nice potatoes here. I gotta get my whisk. Excuse me. I'm gonna add some salt here. You know what? I forgot to get my white pepper, but I'm just gonna. I don't want to put black pepper in here, but normally you want to use white pepper when you're doing potatoes. Otherwise, you're gonna be showing some black specks. You don't want that in your beautiful potatoes. So if you use white pepper, it's best. Sometimes students don't know they use black pepper, and you end up seeing some nice, like not too nice black specks in there. So I'm also going to add some butter here. Like a lot of butter on my potatoes here. A couple tablespoons there should be good enough. Okay. And you're going to see that they're going to end up really nice and fluffy. Now I'm going to add some of my cream I got over here. Make sure the cream is nice and hot. As you can see, it's nice bright yellow from the saffron. Look at that. And it has a nice earthy flavor. If you never had saffron, you know, you want to try it. It's a very expensive spice, but again, it's worth it. As you can see, you're gonna have some real nice colors here. There you go. Look at that. So that's good enough. I don't want to whip them too much, otherwise they turn into glue. Okay, I want to just check for... Good. Very nice. I'm going to check my lamb back here. It's browning really nice. So pretty rare. Okay. I'm going to put some of these potatoes in my pastry bag. Checking my sauce here. A little bit more. I'm gonna hit it with some whole butter before I take it out. The way it gets nice and shiny and it thickens up a little bit. I'm gonna wrap the potatoes with my towel so they kind of stay warm a little bit before I use them here. Okay. Put right here. I want to taste my sauce, make sure it's got enough salt as well. Find a spoon here. Very nice. It's got a very nice, sweet flavor taste here. Add a little butter here. I'm going to strain this because, as you can see, it's got a lot of mint, some of the shallots I put in there, but you want to strain it so it's nice and smooth. As you can see, it's nice and shiny now that I added the butter. Okay. Put it aside here for right now. A spatula so you can scrape everything out of there. I want to strain it. I'm going to take a look at my lamb here. I'm using a little tiny oven, so I don't want to... It might be rare when I take it out, because I don't want to wait too long. I want to take it. Just leave it there a little longer. I'm going to make my vegetables now for you guys. I made some... I blanched some baby carrots and some asparagus. I'm gonna just heat up a little bit here with some butter. Okay. It's very little. Put them in there. I'm gonna add a little water too. If you guys have some chicken stock, you can use chicken stock, but you know, a little liquid. That way they kind of warm up a little more. And they're already blanched, so they're, you know, cooked halfway. I'm just going to warm them up. And as you can see there. As you can see, you know, this is very easy. Like I said before, once you have everything, you know, pretty much your menu ready, you know what you're going to do, you have, you know, everything in place. They actually cook in preparation. It's not as hard as you might think. So as we talk about, you know, the key here is to have your mise en place ready all the time. And this is Well, I'm showing you here. Once everything's done, actually, making the dish is very easy. Okay. Got some nice carrots here. Okay. Now I'm gonna strain my sauce into my little dish here. So the lamb might be a little, still a little rare, but I'm gonna take it out. I wanna, because of the thyme. So you can see this. And a lot of the steps you can do ahead of time, like you see, like making the potatoes and your vegetables. So really, it shouldn't have to be, a huge amount of work for you guys to make a beautiful dinner. Any questions out there, anybody? Everybody's so quiet today. Okay, I'm gonna push everything down. There you go. Now I got a nice sauce here for my lamb. Now that we have everything pretty much ready, I'm gonna take this out. As you can see, it gets a nice golden color here. It might be a little still too rare, but I'm gonna cut it anyways. I'm gonna let it rest for a little bit here. Otherwise, it's gonna bleed all over the place. Okay. As you can see this. Look at this. I'm gonna put it to the side here for a little bit. Kind of let it relax. Right over here is better. I might not wait, like the time we should wait about 10 minutes to cut the lamb because, time restrictions. But at home, if you guys, let it rest for about 10 minutes, you want to make sure that all the juices get back into the meat. And when you cut it, it's not going to go all over the place like you're going to see here. But normally, you don't want to do that. I'm doing that right now because we don't have a lot of time. But at home, you make sure that you guys let it rest for about 10 minutes before you cut them open. That way, you're going to see a nice, juicy piece of meat. Otherwise, if you cut them right away, all the juice is going to come up. I don't know if you guys ever seen that before, but sometimes people mention that the meat becomes dry. That's because they cut it when it's so hot, and that's the main reason why all the juices come out. Now I'm gonna start, pretty much plating my dish here. As you can see, the potatoes get a nice bright yellow color here. Make 3 little piles here. Just gonna put some vegetables in between here. As you can see, I got some nice there you go. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of the sauce here in between. Okay. Remember, anytime you plate it in any dish, you want to clean the plate, the rim of the plate very nice. I think some of you guys already know this when I, talk to you guys about plating your assignments. Okay, now I'm gonna cut this, and you might see a lot of blood coming out. It might be like still rare. Okay, so as I mentioned before, because we don't have a lot of time, but you can see that. you can see, that's kind of so rare. I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, but I want to make sure that you guys see that. And I mean, if I were to leave it to rest a little longer, it was good. It would be okay. I would like, like the meat rare, so this would be it would be nice. Okay. Look at that. As you can see that, it didn't really bleed too much. As you can see that, it was nice. I'm really happy. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out here. Anybody has any questions? I'm also gonna add a little more sauce here, just around the meat. Look at that. So what do you think? Easy, right? You guys can do this at home very, very easy.
You make it look easy.
It is. I mean, you gotta try it, to be honest with you. I thought the same thing when I was, younger, when I began in this business, and now I'm like, okay, if you try, you practice. But again, it takes a little while, to practice. But you guys can do it, you guys do a great job. So again, there you go. You can see, I want to turn around so you can see the middle, the lamb pieces and how nice, how moist the meat is. And the crust kind of got nice and golden at the top. So this is something you guys can do, and it makes a beautiful dish for the holidays. And I know some people, they're kind of afraid to try lamb because they think it's really gamey. To be honest with you, it's not. This cut of meat it's not very strong. It's really mild. Also, you can do something different. You can marinate it like overnight if you want to kind of take some of the gaminess away. You can chop some garlic, mix it with some fresh herbs like some fresh mint, rosemary, thyme, a little olive oil. Rub all over the meat and kind of wrap it with some plastic wrap so it kind of penetrates. And then next day you can do the same thing. You want to brush off the garlic that way it doesn't burn. But you're going to get a nice flavor infused into the meat like a marinade. So again, if you want to try that, feel free. And it's going to be a great dish. And that way you guys can try some lamb. And lamb is a very good meat in my opinion. It's very tender, especially the rack lamb. Like I said before, it's one of the most tender cuts of meat of the lamb. This muscle doesn't really do a lot of work, like the shanks. I mean, shanks have a lot of flavor to it, but you have to cook them with a different cooking method for a long time. So this one, as you can see, it's much quicker. You can also grill this. I mean, only because I have pans here, I don't have a grill, but you can grill, put some grill marks, and then you put the crumbs, and it's going to give you a nice smoky flavor too from the grill. So again, if you guys don't have any more questions, I want to wrap this up, and I want to thank you for being here this morning. I'll see you next couple weeks. We're gonna make some sweet tamales. You guys are gonna love that. It's a dish that we do in like a lot of Latin American countries, especially Mexico. They make, it's a family thing. When they make the savory tamales, they also make the sweet tamales, which I'm gonna show you in a couple weeks from today. And they're really easy to make. So thank you again, and have a nice day. And try this. I want to hear from you guys if you try this at home for the holidays.